Coming off the bench? Cool. 3 words, 1 sarcastic emoji, and Skylar Diggins just exposed everything wrong with the Chicago Sky. Monday morning, Skylar Diggins opens Instagram and posts 2 stories that spread across the entire WNBA within hours. The first is a simple photo with the caption, "Now I'm coming off the bench? Cool." The second is a short video where she says, almost through gritted teeth, "The crazy part about it all is, I've been so quiet. I've been so good and quiet." For a player with 12 seasons in the league and 341 starts in 354 career games, those words carried a lot of weight. The last time Skylar Diggins came off the bench was back in 2016. Now, at 35 years old, after joining the Chicago Sky to help lead a rebuilding franchise, she's suddenly out of the starting lineup with little public explanation. And this isn't just about one lineup change. It's about communication, leadership, and whether one of the WNBA's most unstable franchises is repeating the same mistakes all over again. Before we get into the controversy, it's important to understand why Diggins was in Chicago in the first place. After spending 2 seasons with the Seattle Storm, the expectation was that she would compete for championships alongside Nneka Ogwumike. Instead, Seattle was eliminated in the first round of the playoffs both years. When free agency arrived, many expected Diggins to join another contender for what could be the final years of her Hall of Fame career. Instead, she surprised almost everyone by signing with the Chicago Sky. On paper, it looked like an ambitious project. Chicago had struggled badly over the previous 2 seasons, finishing near the bottom of the standings, but the front office was aggressive during the off-season. The Sky added Skylar Diggins, Rickea Jackson, Dejanai Carrington, Azura Stevens, and JC Sheldon. They also drafted Gabriela Jaquez out of UCLA, while moving on from Angel Reese in a blockbuster trade to Atlanta. It looked like a balanced roster with experienced veterans and young talent that could finally change the direction of the franchise. But almost immediately, everything started going wrong. Rickea Jackson, expected to become the team's primary scorer, suffered a season-ending ACL injury. Dejanai Carrington wasn't even able to make her debut because of injury. The losses quickly piled up. After opening the season with a promising 3-1 record, Chicago lost 12 of its next 15 games, falling right back near the bottom of the standings. Then came the decision that turned the season into another major headline. Head coach Tyler Marsh informed Skylar Diggins that she would no longer be part of the starting lineup. According to Diggins, the news completely caught her off guard. She later told reporters that she hadn't spoken with Marsh since the previous Friday and said there had been miscommunication between herself and the coaching staff ever since she arrived in Chicago back in April. When reporters asked Tyler Marsh to explain the decision, his response was brief. "It's a coach's decision. It's my decision, and the conversations that me and Skylar had will stay between us." That was it. No basketball explanation, no discussion about performance, no clarification about long-term plans. And when organizations don't communicate clearly, speculation fills the gap. Looking strictly at the numbers, there are reasons someone could argue for a lineup change. Diggins is averaging around 14 points and between 5 and 7 assists per game. Solid production, but not dominant. Meanwhile, undrafted rookie Sydney Taylor has become one of the brightest surprises of the season, averaging over 16 points while shooting nearly 47% from the field after entering the starting lineup. Courtney Vandersloot has also returned from her ACL injury. Even with limited minutes, she's one of the most respected point guards in franchise history, and Chicago also added veteran Natasha Cloud during the offseason. Suddenly, there are multiple experienced guards competing for limited roles. From a basketball standpoint, you can understand why Marsh wanted to experiment. But Diggins made it very clear that her frustration wasn't simply about losing her starting spot. It was about how she found out. And that's an important difference. Because for longtime WNBA fans, this story probably feels familiar. The Chicago Sky have developed a reputation over the past few years that no organization wants. Last season, Angel Reese was benched shortly after publicly challenging the franchise to do more during the off-season. Around that same time, an anonymous player survey conducted by The Athletic ranked the Chicago Sky as the worst-run organization in the entire WNBA. The franchise also promised a brand new practice facility in Bedford Park, but the project has yet to open despite earlier public announcements. Even before this latest controversy, Diggins herself had openly criticized what she described as a loser mentality after several blowout defeats and had questioned some of the coaching decisions being made throughout the season. When you connect all of those moments, this stops looking like one isolated disagreement. Instead, it starts looking like another chapter in a much bigger pattern. Despite everything that happened, Diggins tried to calm the situation down publicly. She emphasized that she had already spoken with her teammates, including Courtney Vandersloot, and made it clear there was no conflict inside the locker room. She also shut down any immediate trade speculation by saying she had not asked to leave Chicago. Those comments certainly lowered the temperature. But they don't answer the bigger question. If a Hall of Fame veteran signs with your franchise to help lead a rebuild and ends up feeling blindsided by one of the biggest coaching decisions of the season, what message does that send? Not only to the current roster, but to every future free agent considering Chicago. Ironically, the Sky responded by defeating the Phoenix Mercury in their very next game. One win doesn't erase everything that's happened, but it does make the situation even more interesting moving forward. Because if Chicago starts winning without Diggins in the starting lineup, Marsh will likely defend his decision. If the losing continues, the questions surrounding communication and leadership are only going to get louder. At the end of the day, this story isn't really about who starts at point guard. It's about trust. It's about communication. And it's about whether the Chicago Sky have truly fixed the organizational problems that players have been talking about for years. Last year, it was Angel Reese. This year, it's Skylar Diggins. Different players, different circumstances. But many fans believe they're seeing the same pattern repeat itself. So now, I want to hear from you. Did Tyler Marsh make the right basketball decision, or did the Chicago Sky completely mishandle the situation with one of the league's most respected veterans? And do you think Skylar Diggins will still be wearing a Chicago Sky jersey next season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more WNBA stories explained with context and detail, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.